Alright, Dylan back with goldpaydirtreviews.com. And yeah, I know I'm running late. October's just been a mess. But anyway, this is going to be the final part in the Paydirt.com. This is our 8-ounce concentrate. Now remember I did the 10-pound, and then I did the 3-pound picker bag last, and now I'm going to do the 8-ounce concentrate. Now again, I'm doing all these individually, but I did get them in the combo set, and I will do a 4th post on my blog, but I'm not going to shoot a video about it, about the total return as if it would have been bought in the combo bag. So far, it's really good dirt. So far I've been really happy with it, where every pan's showing up with a little color in it, and that's what you want to have fun. If you just want a bag where you dump and you find one big picker and then throw the rest away, this isn't the stuff for you, and that's kind of boring, and I've never been into that. This stuff is fun. It is extremely dirty, though. So, weighed it up, and it was, 8 ounces, 8.2 ounces, so, it's an 8-ounce bag. I can get it open. Now, like the other stuff, it's that deep, rich brown, clay. So, I'm going to screen it down. Today's video should be a lot shorter than normal just because it's only an 8-ounce bag. It's a concentrate bag. And we'll see. I'm expecting about a 40% return, I guess, which is what I've been getting off the other bags. So, this would be on their website. This was $34.99. So, I'm going to screen this down and let's see what we get. So, I'll be right back and show you what I got screened down. Alright, back, and fairly easy to screen out, mostly because there wasn't, you only got 8 ounces. So, I will tell you, I'm pretty surprised at the ratios here. This is an over 10, and I really didn't expect to get more than 1 or 2 pieces of over 10. So, kind of surprised about the amount that I got in an 8-ounce concentrate bag. So, there's not a ton, but it is an 8-ounce bag. Then the under 10 over 20, a fair amount. That's a pretty big amount for, having an 8 ounce that's supposed to be concentrate. So we'll see again. This is an over 30, under 20. And as you can see, there was more of the over 20. And then for the under 30, it's a fairly amount. It's probably the same amount as the under 10 over 20. So I didn't see any gold in this. I really didn't see anything in this one, but I'm expecting probably to maybe find 1 or 2 pieces in this one, just because there's so much of it. Yeah, actually, I don't know if you can see. There's some gold there, and there's a little bit over there. So I don't know if you'll be able to see the other piece, but, a nice little, looks like a shrimp. There's another piece right there. So there is some gold in this. But we'll see. I'm gonna go. I'm expecting most of the gold again to be in these 2 pans. So we'll see. I'm gonna go knock out the over 10 and the under 10 over 20. And I'll be right back and show you what I get out of them. So let me get my water and be right back. This shouldn't take me too long. So today's video will probably be pretty short. Again, I'm going to put another one out later on tonight with a trick or one of the tips I like to do and when you're panning really, really dirty dirt. So that'll be another one. Then on the 1st, I still have a video coming on the 1st. I'm actually shooting it tomorrow. I already got the plans for it, so it will be ready on the 1st. So I'll be right back. Let me get my water and everything, and I'll show you what I got. All right, be right back. Well, finished out panning out the over 10 and the under 10 over 20, and as expected in the over 10, there was nothing. I didn't expect anything. There really wasn't that much. I'm actually surprised I had some over 10 dirt in an 8-ounce concentrate bag, but there was some. Got 3 nice little pieces out of the over 10, under 10 over 20. you know, it took me 2 pans to pan that out, you know, and first pan I had the one big piece, and the second pan I had the 2 smaller ones. So, you know, now we'll have to get down to the rest of the stuff I'm going to do. Next we will do, this is the under 20 over 30. And as you can see, just bumping the pan around, a lot of gold showed up. You know, I've never even tried to dry pan before, but I think this stuff would be a great product to dry pan. It looks like it'd be, you know, on the easier side to dry pan. So, you know, I've never tried it. One of these days when I have a lot of time, maybe I will. Well, you can see the gold is popping up. So this might be where I end up getting all my gold. So we'll find out. I'm going to come right back. I'm going to knock it out, and we'll see. I'll be right back in part 3. All right. Well, just finished panning out the under 20 over 30, and it was pretty much exactly 2 tablespoons of Paydirt. I did a tablespoon at a time, and it was pretty much divided half and half. Nice little piece of wire gold in there. Kept trying to get away from me because it's really light. So, you know, not bad, not bad. You know, I think since this is 8 ounces, you're going to get a lot of, and it does float, as you can see. You know, you're going to get a lot more pieces per color, you know, per tablespoon, just because of the fact that you got so little amount of Paydirt. So far, been really excited. I mean, pretty much every pan has a lot of color in it. Again, what it'll weigh up, you never know. You know, when I did the 10-pound, I knew it was going to be around the 40% because there was so much, you know. But then in the 3-pound, I remember even in my video, I was saying that, you know, it didn't seem as much. It didn't seem like I was doing as good, but you could never tell because, you know, gold, you can have 2 pieces that looked identical and each one will weigh totally different amounts. So, you know, it ended up being a decent amount on the 3-pound as well. This one, you know, so you never know until I weigh it up. I'm not going to comment about the return on investment. But so far, like the 10-pound and the 3-pound, it's extremely fun. You know, this, you know, is going to be a lot quicker. Like I said, you know, I had probably 2 tablespoons of the over 10, 3 tablespoons of the under 10 over 20, and then 2 tablespoons of this. And now I'm going to do the under 30, which is probably right around 3 tablespoons. So, you know, you're getting about 10 pans worth of Paydirt, you know. So, you know, it's $35. So, you know, which is the cheapest of the 3. So, you know, when you're going to be paying close to, what is it, $49.99 for the 10-pound, which I would definitely buy again. So far, I would buy any of these bags again. I would probably, no matter what, buy it in a combo bag, and that'll be on my 4th post when I post about that. But, so, for now, I'm going to go knock this one out. And we'll see. And again, you can't really tell from my pan. But this stuff is really, really dirty. It doesn't have as much floaties as the 10-pound or the 3-pound, but then again, it's 8 ounces, so, you know, everything's a lot less. So, but it is still really cloudy. Again, not as cloudy because of the thing. But, all right, I'm going to go knock this last one out and show you what I get from everything and my final thoughts. Well, finished panning everything out. We'll just do a quick review of everything. This is what we'll start here. This is what I got out of the under 30. A lot more than I expected. You know, again, it was 3 tablespoons. So every single pan had some. You know, it's all tiny little pieces. Overall, in the over 10, nada. In the under 10 over 20, I got 3 pieces. Nice little pieces. Again, I was pretty surprised about the ratios of Paydirt with concentrate. The ratios seem to be about the same as the 3-pound as well as the 10-pound, just a lot less of it. You know, where you pretty much got equal amounts of everything. I mean, some of the Paydirt's ratios were a little bit different, but it was essentially, you know, you got a full scope of all 4 different screen sizes that I use. This is the under 20 over 30, a nice bit of gold. It was 2 tablespoons worth of Paydirt, and so, you know, a lot of color in each pan. A nice little piece of wire gold. I don't know if you can see that one, but tried to pick up with my tweezers, almost lost it. And then this is the under 30. It was 3 tablespoons, so there was a lot of gold. You know, 20 pieces, 30 pieces per pan. I won't know until I weigh it up what the final ROI is. But again, so far, out of all the Paydirts that I did with the CarolinaPaydirt.com, they're all fun. I would rebuy any of them for a fun factor. Now, they might not have the best return on investment. I don't know what so far out of the 2 bags I did do, the returns on investment were about the 40%. If this one recovers about 40% as well, it'll be below what I normally want to get out of bags. But these were really fun bags, so those kind of make up for it, you know, on the fact that, you know, every single scoop of dirt had some gold in it. So that always makes it more fun than just finding, you know, some of these bags where you only get 10 or 12 pieces, but then one of them's a big nugget. You know, it's kind of, you know. So I wouldn't complain about getting this Paydirt again. And this is actually the second time I've bought this Paydirt, so I just didn't have a video review of it before. So I figured, you know, I think I bought it 3 years ago was the last time I did a review on it. So I figured time to bring it out and review it again, and this time with the video. So I'm really impressed with it. I'm sure the ROI will go up significantly once I do it as a combo pack, which is how I bought it, and how I would suggest anyone else, if they're interested in buying this, buy the combo pack. You know, it's $99.95, so you ended up saving $45, $44.02 to be exact. So, you know, that'll definitely increase your ROI. You know, my ROI will probably go up to around the 62%, 64%, somewhere around there, depending on this. But, so I'm going to go weigh this up and then post it on my blog with my final return on investment. And then, yes, I will have a video on the first. I'm not going to tell you who. This is somebody for years I've been wanting to review this Paydirt. You might not be wanting me to review it, but it's something that's always been on my mind to review. So I was going to do a piece of equipment review as well, but the piece of equipment I was going to review, I'd already tested it out, and it made me think of another piece of equipment. So I bought that, and I'm waiting for it to show up. And as soon as it shows up, which will be next week, I'll do the review. I just wanted to compare the two. You know, I just didn't want to do one review and be like, oh, okay. You know, I wanted to compare the two together. And hopefully this will be a good review for this first piece of equipment, the main one I'm talking about, just because I've watched a lot of reviews and none of them are controlled tests. It's, you know, so we're going to see as controlled as I can do it. So, well, again, this was CarolinaPaydirt.com. This was their 8-ounce concentrate. Beautiful stuff. It was fun. The 3-pound was fun. The 10-pound was fun. So far, out of all of them, the 10-pound was the funnest that I got out of it. Now, if this ROI on this was, you know, 60% just like this, then this might bump it up. But, you know, all 3 were extremely fun Paydirt, and I don't think you'd go wrong getting them if you're looking for fun. If you want, you know, huge return on investment, look to the left of my website, and you'll see the ones that I got the best return on investments on. So, you know, and you can see on those, on some of those, you can see I have a lot of comments in there with other people that have told me their returns on investment as well. So, you know, if you're looking just for return on investments, there's other Paydirts that are higher than this. But fun factor, this is definitely a 10 out of 10. So, I'll leave you on that, and I'm going to go weigh this up and put it on my blog.